Hi, this is Steve Paranto coming to you from my home in Oregon. Today I want to tackle the confusing service rule that we have today. I think it's very hard if you've refed a match, and sometimes it's very hard to tell if they're using a legal serve. So let me talk about the rules we have, and then an idea I have on maybe to fix this, remedy this problem we have on the serve. Today, our rule is that contact must be made below your belly button. So where's my belly button? Hard for you to tell, isn't it? Well, it's right here, but the ref won't know exactly where it's at. So that's one difficult factor. You have to know if contact, meaning when the ball is hitting your paddle, if that point striking your paddle is below your belly button. So this would be legal, illegal. Just knowing where my belly button is. Legal, illegal. Kind of hard. The second rule that the ref has to simultaneously look for is there can't be any downward motion. So you have to have an upward motion. It only has to be 1 degree, however. So that's legal, that's illegal. Legal, illegal. I don't know how you're going to notice that, especially when you're already trying to look to see if the ball contact is below the belly button. Third, you can't have any part of the paddle above your wrist joint. So that would be illegal. In fact, it would even be illegal to serve from here. Part of the paddle is above my wrist, even though I'm gaining no advantage because I'm serving from a low spot. The other reason that rule doesn't make sense to me, we have certain paddles. This is a wide paddle, as wide as you could make them, and this is one of the new long, narrow paddles. So the same service motion would be legal with this paddle, because this doesn't stick up here, but it would be illegal with this paddle, even though I'm still striking the ball in the same spot. So that's another problem. If you've ever been a referee and seen that someone has backspin, it must be an illegal serve because they have to be coming down on it. That's an illegal serve. I just served with backspin. Now, after I hit it, I was coming up, and again, it's a split second that you would have to determine if you had an upward or downward motion. So I have a solution to all of this. My solution is, why don't we, and by the way, I think we had this rule of striking out of the air because when they invented the game, they copied badminton, so that was basically the serve. My idea is to drop the ball and hit it off the bounce. Now, not throw it, but drop it with an arm parallel to the ground or lower. The only thing now that a ref would have to look for is, did they drop the ball? That means opening up the hands. That's all they would have to look for. That would be illegal. Well, that's easy to tell I'm throwing it. Drop the ball. I can do whatever I want with it. It doesn't matter. I could add backspin. I could add topspin. I can serve all the variety of serves people are serving today. There's a lob serve. I can do anything, but I have to drop it. And of course, both of my feet have to be behind the line. Simple for the referee to watch. When I explain this to people, they say, here are the things that they say would be wrong with it. They say, well, yeah, but a tall person is going to have a higher bounce. They will have a higher bounce, but it'll only be about 1 to 2 inches higher. So if you were I'm 5'11", if I'm holding my arm parallel, now I'm holding it much higher, it still bounces way below my waist. It'll never come up even to net height for a 7-footer holding their arm parallel with a legal bouncing ball. So it solves that problem. So it actually is an equalizer. Small people and tall people will actually be serving from almost a closer range than they were before. There's certain tall people, their waists are 16 inches higher than some of the little people we have. It's actually an equalizer as far as that. And I think all these rules that we have were to stop people from having such an aggressive serve. So if you were to watch my serve, is that legal or illegal? Pretty hard to tell, isn't it? When you're serving fast, it'd be very hard to tell. The other people say could be a problem with this serve, I've heard, but it's invalid, is, well, it'd be too hard to serve in the wind. Well, you're only dropping it a couple of feet. If it's really windy, you could just do this. Besides, we're already playing the game in elements. We're hitting the ball 44 feet in the wind, so the wind isn't an issue. The biggest problem I think we're going to have is people are used to serving the way they've always served all their life. Now, I've been playing this game for 42 years, and I'm willing to change. It would be easier to teach all these new beginners we have. If we do have this sport double like they say it's going to in the next couple of years, why don't we teach them an easier serve? Much easier to drop the ball, to teach a beginner to do that. I taught elementary PE for 30 years. You try to teach a child to do this, here's what happens. Both their arms move together. And all the tennis teachers out there that are listening to this, you know just what I'm talking about. Much easier to teach someone to just drop it. So there's a lot of, I think it solves all the problems we have today with the serve. I'm going to bring the camera up to the net just to show you relative to the net how high a ball will bounce when you drop it from a parallel position. And I have a stool here too, because I'm going to also stand on the stool and pretend I'm 7 feet tall. But here I'm 5'11", parallel or lower, wouldn't matter. And watch how low relative to the net. So no one's going to get a big advantage. If I were 7 feet tall and also bouncing it from a parallel position, still quite a bit lower, then that hits another ball. So let me do that better. Just to show you, well below the net height. No one's going to hit down and smash a serve. Anyway, I think this solves all the problems. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear. The only negative things I've heard so far are the ones that I talked about. If you have others you can think of, I do think people with really good ground strokes, this new serve will benefit them. The tall people might not be too excited about the rule changing, because some of them are really taking advantage of having high waist. That is an advantage to serving, especially singles. Thank you.